S&box Drama. In this episode, hashtag Team Fortress Source 2 is over party. And why work on a game when you can just steal one and replace all assets with pictures of boobas? On the 21st of September, Amper Software, creators of Team Fortress Source 2, announced that they will be putting the project on hold until S&box gets more stable. If you're out of the loop since there isn't anybody covering this stuff, one day, Garry out of the blue dropped a bomb in general dev, casually mentioning that they will be removing the entity system, leading to the biggest payday yet. This is part of Facepunch's continuous effort to transform S&box into a fully fledged game engine. To put it simply, this is going to give us much more freedom over our games. Unfortunately, this has the effect of breaking every single game that's out on S&box right now. This is what's called a pain day. You go to sleep after a productive session of Sand Tycoon and you wake up to see the game selection is completely empty, with the exception of Deathmatch 98 because that's Garry's third child. Knowing that a year from now whatever game you're working on is going to need a rewrite lowered the morale of any still active developer. Personally, we've got over 20 video tutorials that need to be redone, but this isn't the first time we've gone through this, so we'll survive just fine. Now back to Team Fortress Source 2. Upon learning that the project was being put on hold, the initial reception within the community was negative, with some users even proposing to switch game engine to Godot, or even worse, Source 1. I was able to get in contact with one of the producers from Amper Software, Kaya, who also fills the role of lead artist and token Frenchman. Ubri from the past here, there is currently a memory leak in S&box, so this is the best footage I could get. How long did the decision take and did everyone in the team agree?
We took some time to decide what to do. First, we talked about it between the project leads. Then we announced it internally to the team, which we all agreed that putting the project on hold was the best outcome for us and the community.
How has the community reacted to the news?
The announcement has been taken fairly well by the community, and we're really glad about that. We've always had a great supportive community, and we think the announcement was clear enough to cover everything people should know.
Is Amper Software working on any side projects?
We have something to keep us busy while this retooling for S&box is undergoing. Yes.
If there was a S&box game jam, would Amper Software participate?
The team's attention is less turned to S&box nowadays, so I can't say we'd plan to do so.
Ubri from a more recent past here. 2 new S&box jams have been announced for the month of October. Now that Amper Software confirmed they won't participate, your chances to win increased tenfold. I'll leave the links in the description below. Wanna shout anyone out?
Well, I'd say thanks to the amazing team we have for sticking with the project since our journey started. They've always been really supportive about anything we go through. And thanks to our awesome community for being here and giving us their crucial feedback, helping us play test, creating content, contributing to the project, or just sticking around with us. Smile emoji.
Unfortunately, that wasn't very dramatic, but Team Fortress Source 2 always brings in the views, so who cares? On the 10th of September 2023, the world was graced with the game Pizza Clicker, made by Carson, of home fame, who supposedly grew tired of the attention web panel games such as Cookie Clicker were garnering. Just like the name suggests, Pizza Clicker is a cookie clicker clone, but instead of clicking cookies, you click pizzas. Other than the idea behind it, everything in it is completely made from scratch and functions as a full-fledged game. This eventually paid off as Pizza Clicker became the most played game on S&box, even beating titans such as Sand Tycoon. But on the 20th of September, a new clicker appeared on the front page by the name of Booba Clicker, made by a newcomer called EUK. Many players quickly noticed that the game was similar to Carson's, but the pizzas were replaced with boobas. This wasn't really a surprise to many. The games are based off of Cookie Clicker, not much can change about the gameplay, but some developers didn't buy this though. They decompiled Booba Clicker and compared the code to Pizza Clicker. And eventually, they found out that the entire game was a one-to-one copy, with the exception of assets replaced to fit the theme. The creator, EUK, would then make a public WAYWO post to announce his new game. Eventually, Carson would inform him that just because the original game is open source, it doesn't mean you have permission to just copy and re-upload it in its entirety. In an effort to justify his actions, EUK would claim fair use, stating that he spent 3 days replacing all of the assets. And if you were wondering, yes, they were made using AI. After a back and forth regarding copyright laws, the discussion shifted, now focusing on the not safe for work aspect of the game itself and whether or not it was allowed on Asset.Party. To which Garry himself said,
"Yeah, we won't allow porn games."
If, again, you're out of the loop, Asset.Party has been blocked by Cloudflare's DNS for supposedly containing adult content. Pro tip, you can change your DNS by going into your router settings. Facepunch has already submitted an unblock request with the following statement.
And for one front-end for our games, UGC platform, there is no content that is deemed 18+, nor is it allowed on our platform.
Despite the previous statement and hundreds of user reports, which we all know how effective they are, Facepunch wouldn't remove the game during the whole ordeal. And this is what Carson had to say about the situation.
It was a bit disheartening to see that someone had stole all the code and flipped a few assets, so I reached out to the creator. I told them they don't own the rights to the code they used and explained that open source without a license does not mean no rules. I believe the creator is still very young and naive, which is why they disregarded everything I had to say. I don't think he has any malicious intent, I just think they're just a minor on the internet.
I was able to confirm that UK is indeed not underage.
Who don't understand the laws of the land. At the end of the day, like I said to the creator, I ultimately don't care and absolutely will not issue a copyright strike or take any legal action. I just wanted to see the creator take it down themselves and acknowledge that they did something they shouldn't have done and learn from it. It seems like that won't be happening, so I simply ask that others do not play his game and subsequently not send the guy any hate. Further escalation will do more harm than good, and I just want to see people learn from this. Smile emoji.
We managed to also interview Booba Clicker's creator, EUK.
I created the game because I can't touch a boob in real life. So this is an opportunity to make new feelings without touching grass. It took me like 36 hours of full commitment to make it and was so annoying. And about the fact that I'm famous, which I'm not even sure I am, I believe that every famous and successful person has their haters behind them. My honest opinion regarding Carson is that he is a good programmer and he made a good game. But I think the aesthetic is quite bad because boobs are better than pizzas and I think that makes it better. I know it's a derivative work, but I don't think I stole it at all, and yeah, it counts as a game for obvious reasons, it having boobs is one. My message for the viewers: if you've never touched a boob in real life, this is your chance to do it.
Unfortunately for the people that wanted to take the offer, Booba Clicker would be taken off of S&box shortly after this interview. Perhaps Facepunch finally caved in. I asked AUK about it, to which he confirmed that the game wasn't removed, but instead, an admin simply set the visibility to hidden. After receiving a lesson on copyright laws, having the owner of the company telling you your game isn't allowed, it being switched to hidden by an administrator, and calling some people gay, EUK decided to make Booba Clicker public again, like any other individual would do in his situation. Unexpectedly, this backfired, and he was scolded by Alex, BTR programmer at Facepunch. To end this story on a positive note, it looks like EUK is learning art and programming himself, so perhaps even you, the viewer, will have a chance to touch a booba. Thank you for listening, and remember, check out the links below for our Discord server. We are this close to reaching 500 members.